off by telling me how many people we have playing. Groovy. Player 1, how about typing in your name for us? Player 2, how about it?
45 seconds.
I think you know. Player 3, I think you know the drill. By the by, you here for a 7-question tournament length game or a full 21-question thingamajig? Thanks, Rooney.
30 seconds.
Player 1, your buzzer is the letter Q as in qualm. Player 2, you have the letter B as in bail, man. Just bail. Player 3, your P as in pagan.
20 seconds.
Yikes, we're at 20 already. All right, you're gonna get a bunch of questions. First person to hit their buzzer gets first crack at the cash. Pick the answer you think is right and hit the number on the keyboard. Got it? Good. Hasta la vista, baby.
It's time for the show where high culture and pop culture collide.
Hey, excellent. You know, 3 is a very lucky number for some people, and there's 3 of you here, so what? Let's move on. Okay, there's no turning back now, unless you hit the escape key and quit out. All right, let's get going by passing out the hardware. And here's the deal with these screws. If you think your neighbor doesn't know the answer to a question, but you want to make him answer it anyway, buzz in and hit the S key to screw him. Okay, we're out of here. Player 3, time to make a decision. Well, what do we have here? Places to go, dresses to wear. This one's worth $1,000. Hey, I'm sure you've noticed John Lithgow's penchant for wearing women's clothing. He did it in The World According to Garp, Raising Cain, and even on Third Rock. Well, if the show Third Rock from the Sun were actually called Sixth, the 6th planet from the Sun is Saturn. I'll bet Mr. Lithgow could find plenty of lovely accessories there, too, especially rings. Player 1, hit me with the caddy.
This is the end of the tape. Turn it over to play side 2.
May I introduce, how do you say polysorbate 80 in Italian? I'm giving out $3,000 for a right answer. Hey, we all know there's no one more authentically Italian than Chef Boyardee, right? If Chef Boyardee introduced a new canned pasta made with ingredients native to Italy, which of the following would he make? Zucchini. It's an Italian name, but they're North American squash. Oh, speaking of squash... Player 1, Player 2, who's taking it? Player 2, grab it. You say tomato, I say discovered in Central America. Player 1, you... Gee, I wonder what the answer is. Celery is one of the few veggies indigenous to Italy. Of course, if Chef Boyardee really wants to be known as a great chef, he needs to get his own TV show.
And now we open the can and heat the contents over a low flame. I call it Cicerone.
Player 3, tell me what's on your mind.
Son, you best be out of town before I count to 3!
This one likes to go by dictionary. Is that like the thing with words and stuff? And you pocket $2,000 if you get this one. All right, listen up! Scared ya? Okay, tell me, what's the most appropriate answer to this question? Have you ever seen one of those upside-down E things? Nice. Them upside-down E things are called schwas, and they indicate a neutral vowel occurring usually in an unstressed syllable. Whatever that means. Player 1, it's up to you. Pucker up for. Come out with your hands up, Mr. Vice President. This one can net you $1,000. Okay, pay attention and tell me who this wanted poster is for. Wanted for murder, former Vice President and Attorney General. Aaron Burr killed Alexander Hamilton in a duel in 1804. And then he went on to a lucrative career as TV's Perry Mason. Player 1, ante up.
Give me one good reason.
I'll give you 5.
Coming at you, non-stop flight to Hooterville. How does $2,000 sound? Okay, listen up. Imagine there's a special reunion episode of Green Acres. The Douglases all come back home because the government is forcing them to sell their farm so it can build the Hooterville airport on the spot. Player 1, you've just been Eminent domain basically gives the government the right to take whatever private property it needs as long as they compensate the owners. I waged a lawsuit about eminent domain once. Well, actually, I didn't. I just had this lawyer who wore a nice suit. Well, actually, he didn't, but his middle initial was M. Hey, player 2, right back at you with that screw action. Player 1, tell me what's happening.
Dude, I figured it was a party, so I brought along a...
And I believe this one's called TM, $1,000 if you get it. Heads up, here it comes. Based on U.S. copyright laws, which of these could not have been copyrighted by the people who created them? The nude Vanessa Williams photos, Michael Jackson's Neverland fantasy home, a Michael Jordan's... You can't copyright unscripted choreographed work such as a move on a basketball court. Fortunately for Jordan, he doesn't have to worry about anybody else copying his body of work anytime soon. Player 3, you make the call.
My dog's won. But to you and me, that's...
Shake hands with. I wonder, therefore I'm bred. $2,000 for a correct answer. Think fast. Say someone tells you that you're the greatest thing since sliced bread. Considering the year sliced bread first went on the market, how long have you been the greatest thing? No more than... Sliced bread has been on the market for about 70 years. Gee, I've always wanted to be thought of as crusty and yeasty. Your pick, player 2, how about it? Uh-oh, blah, 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 blah.
It's time for Flippish lesson.
Let's see if you can make sense of this gibberish category. And the bird shall bring joy. This question's gonna start out at 5,000 big ones. Okay, you're gonna have about 30 seconds to solve this, but every second and a half, I'm taking away some money. All right, listen carefully and tell me, what saying does this rhyme with? Is her sea dove stump the glee? And don't mind the punctuation. First clue, it's a saying about unhappiness. Yeah, it sucks. It's a saying about unhappiness and what it attracts. Last clue, this is miserable. Now or never, player 2. Start typing and hit return. Come on, why do people do this?
Cookie, I'll take care of this. Hey, Webster, nice language. You kiss your mother with that mouth? Tell you what, why don't you practice by kissing my ass? That's right, you heard me. Just punk her up, potty mouth, and plant one right here on my big fat
Wait,
juicy...
why don't we take some cash away first?
I was gonna get to that.
On second thought, you know what? That's not enough.
You're right.
It didn't do it for me.
It didn't quite do it for me either. You know, maybe if I sent my friend Bub over to your house to give you some lessons in the fine art of etiquette, yeah, that might do it, you low-life toad-sucking. All I have to do is access some files on your hard drive to find out where you live and...
I think, let's change your name.
But I almost had it. Well, what do you think, Cookie? How's that?
Well...
What?
All right.
Now that's not good enough for you? Sheesh, what's it take to please you? You know, I didn't have to come in here and help you out, you know. I could have left you swinging in the breeze with players telling you to go fuck...
Okay,
hey,
now you've had your
stop,
fun,
don't push
so let's
me.
get back to the
All right,
game,
fine,
okay?
I'm going about it. It's not enough,
I was only trying to help, you bastard!
Player 1, it's all you. Type... And all along I thought what people were saying was Missouri loves company. I felt bad, so I moved there. 8 of the longest years of my life. Let's have a category, player 1. say hello to, I know where you hibernated last winter. Get it right, I'm handing over 2K. Hope you brought your suit. It's time to get wet. Which of the following animals would not star in a movie called Attack of the Killer Rodents? Minks aren't rodents, they're weasels. Minks would star in their own horror movie.
No, don't put on the warm coat! No!
Player 1, give me category.
Semper ubi sub ubi.
X! Well, looks like this category is Grandma's got her girdle in a bunch, and you're playing for $3,000 cash money. Okay, imagine you're on a cross-country road trip with your grandma. Loser. At one point during the trip, your grandma exclaims, "Oh, I'm in such a state!" Since it's the only one of the following that technically is a state, where are you? Massachusetts, Virginia, Kentucky, or Rhode Island? So what's the answer, player 2? No, Kentucky's a commonwealth, and if you're stuck in Kentucky with your grandma, Player 1, player... No, Virginia's a commonwealth. Virginia's also for lovers, and you're there with your grandma, huh? Player 1,
Oh, just can't do anything right, can you?
Oh my God. Rhode Island, technically called the state of Rhode Island and Providence Plantations, is the only one here that is a state and not a commonwealth. Not that it matters to Grandma. I mean, the scenery all looks the same from the trunk. One down, round 2 to go. Let's get on it. This is when I hand out the screws, so let me get those. Let's see. Scratch test, screenplays. Screws. Here you are. Every question in round 2 is worth twice as much, so we got some serious cash at stake here. Let's get to it. Your turn, player 2.
Hey, honey, how many eggs do we have?
We got 12.
11.
The category, when chess turns ugly, and it's worth $2,000 if you get this one right. All right, say you're playing chess when you snap from all the pressure and decide to use some violent defense strategies. Suppose that to protect your king, you draw a gun. While the higher-ranking pieces can retreat, the pawns on the front line cannot move backward and will therefore just sort of wait to get shot. Huh, that's just like real war. Funny. Player 1, your choice. The selection is light as a feather, dumb as a rock. You get 4,000 clams for this one. Okay, huddle around, kids. This one's kind of spooky. Player 2, am I slowing you down? Okay, then, no bothersome question to get in the way. Pick it up. Let's go. Back in line, Flash. Maybe next time you'll think twice before screwing with the host. Player 1, player 3, do something. Should have picked this. Oui is French for yes, and ja is German for, you guessed it, yes. That way it's always telling you what you want to hear.
Ouija board, am I ever going to fall in love? Eat my... Hey!
Player 2, take your pick. Now serving 2 for the squish of 1. Think you can handle $6,001 bills? Put it in gear, 'cause here we go. Which of the following animals does not exist? Chicken turtle, turkey rabbit, squirrel monkey, or elephant shrew? There is no such creature as a turkey rabbit. Think of the possibilities if there were, though. We can make a big turkey rabbit balloon and use it in both the Easter and Thanksgiving Day parades. Player 2, give me something. Let's see what we got going. This rosebud ain't no sled. $2,000 says you don't know this one. Okay, if you've listened to any Vegas lounge singer, you know that a rose is a rose is a rose is a rose is a rose. So, a rose by any other name smells as sweet, but any other name for a rose would be a what? Antonym, synonym. Two words that mean the same things are synonyms. See, grammar is fun.
I'll say she is. Man, back in the days when we were first sparking, we would...
Just shut up. You have the honors, player 2. For your enjoyment, taxidermy and a very special Frasier. $2,000 for a correct answer. Hey, it looks like Frasier and Niles Crane are planning another snooty dinner party. If Niles and Frasier Crane decide to get a stuffed whooping crane as a centerpiece for their dinner party, what will most likely happen? They won't be able to find one, Eddie will mourn his distant relative's death, they'll be allergic to its feathers, or Greenpeace will come after them. Up to you, player 3. They won't be able to find one? No, that would be an episode featuring you looking for a right answer. Player 1, player 2, go get it! All you whooping cranes are a protected endangered species. No big loss. Spotted owl tastes pretty much the same. Player 1, it's up to you. All right, player 1, nice picking. Players 2 and 3, talk amongst yourselves, because player 1, it's time to play Dis or Dat. This Dis or Dat's category name is, see you at the 19th hole. All righty, I'm going to read off 7 words, and for each one, I want you to tell me if it's a golf club, a term that means you're wasting time, or both. If it's the nickname of a golf club, press 1. If it's a term used to describe a time-wasting process, press 2. If it's both, press 3. And if you want to skip one, press 4. $1,000 for each correct answer, and I'll take $1,000 away for a wrong answer or for one you didn't get to. Okay, give me 30 seconds on the clock. Let's go in. Putter, golf club, wasting timer. Fritter. Niblick. Dawdle. Tinker. Mashy. One more. Dilly dip. That's all she wrote. You picked up 5. Not memorable, but not terrible. And there you have it. Let's plow ahead. Your call, player 3. This one's called Mrs. Paul, Average Woman or Superhuman Fish Lady. 4,000 big ones for a right answer here. Let's see if you can wrap your head around this. Which of these product names is not based on an actual person? Bengay, Dr. Pepper, Mrs. Butterworth, or Chef Boyardee? Take a shot. Hey, if I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, and she's a pepper, one of us is bound to be a doctor. Player. Mrs. Butterworth is a tiny glass woman filled with syrup. Not real. The Mrs. Butterworth you see in those commercials is just a tiny glass actress filled with syrup. Player 1, ante up.
18.
This category is known as the Monarch's Nude Clothes, and you pocket $2,000 if you get this one. Put your tray in the upright position. It's time for takeoff. According to the movie Mrs. Brown, what was Queen Victoria's secret? After Prince Albert's death, Queen Victoria had a scandalously close friendship with John Brown, their horseman. Which is nothing when compared to what Catherine the Great's secret is supposed to be. Player 1, tell me what's happening.
Hey!
19!
And this one is, fill her up with milk bones, please. Hello, we're talking $6 grand, so pay attention. Let's rock. Say Greyhound opens a branch in Italy. Considering the difference between traditional Greyhounds and Italian Greyhounds, what would be the problem with Italian Greyhound buses? They would only go up to about 10 miles per hour, long wiry hair would block the driver's view, they would take up all 3 highway lanes, or they could only accept midget passengers. Player 3, do it. Now that's the problem with American Greyhound buses. You know, too much fast food and all that sitting. Player 2, it's yours. Long wiry hair would block the driver's view? Well, sure, maybe the driver's Michael Bolton. Player... Sure, unless you dangle a plastic rabbit in front of him. Pretty sorry performance there. Italian Greyhounds are miniature versions of the traditional Greyhound dogs. But get a male Greyhound together with a female and you get one of those British double-decker buses. I wonder what player 2's gonna pick. The category is Moravian water. Stat! How does $2,000 sound? Hey, listen up. Imagine you're going to be a guest star on ER. According to the script, Dr. Green tells you that you have syphilis, you're going to go crazy and die, then he gives you a shot of morphine and you go home. So, what's the prognosis? You have syphilis, you're going to get a shot of morphine, you're going to go crazy and die, or you're going to be on ER. Player 1, player... Take a shot, player 2. You're going to feel a little sleepy. Don't operate any heavy machinery, like the keyboard. A prognosis is the prediction of the course and outcome of a disease. So you're gonna go crazy and die, but at least you had fun contracting syphilis. Player 1, give me a category. Time for the attack. When you see 2 words that match hit your buzzer, you get it right, you get $2,000 in the bank. Get it wrong, I'm making a withdrawal of $2,000. Just one more thing to remember.
Remember the clue.
The 2 words that match have to fit this clue. If at first you succeed, quit. I mean, if you do well in this game, don't be a loser and play it again. Go out and have some fun. Check! Player 1's got it! Player 1, you really humiliated those 2. Hope they don't take it out on you after the game. Remember, you can run and you can hide, but... You don't know Jack!
Hey, do you need some wheels in a hurry? Then come on over to Alpina's Cars and Cars.
Player 1, you are number 1, and 1 is the loneliest number because 2 and 3 would rather not be in the same room with you at this time. If you'd like to play again, just give me the word.
Hot off the assembly line.
But it's an 84 Dodge.
It's an 84 Dodge Retro.
Oh.
We've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of cars at low, low, low prices.
Mr. Tuna, this car has 4 different hubcaps on it.
Don't worry, there's no extra charge for what we like to call enhancements.
Hi, will you take my old car in as a trade-in?
You bet, and we'll give you a fair price for it.
Great. It's right over... Well, it was here a second ago.
Damn, neighborhood. Here, I've got a beauty to show you.
You want someone who deals in finding you some wheels? Just check out his lot Where everything is hot.
Hey, don't say
At
that.
Altuna's Cars and Cars.
And cars.